is now in session.
I feel like we should start with just mini personal updates. I was sick all day today, but I'm feeling a lot better. Not on muscle relaxers, so that's good. Um, but I'm also tired, so I may still be loopy. How are you guys doing, Melissa?
Yeah, I'm good. Been running around. It's the Formula One Grand Prix weekend here in Australia, so lots of activity and things, but yeah, all good. Happy to see you girls.
I'm good. I'm normal, which isn't really normal, but
Well, should
okay.
we start with what we're currently reading, like where we're at in the books? Melissa, do you want to start?
Sure. I have started Crescent City. Is it Crescent City Earth? What is it? Earth something?
Um,
Um,
Earth Blood? I don't know.
blood something. It's all there's
Yeah,
always blood.
there is, isn't there? Um, yeah, I have to say, it's very different than any of the other SJNs. So, like, tech-wise, it seems like they're in a different era, possibly future, but still with like a lot of like mythology to it and things, it seems. Um, I'm still at the very beginning, so the Bryce, I think her name is like going to some meeting with some wolf. That's all I know right now. And it's pretty slow, I have to say. Like SJM, I believe in you, but it's a while to get there.
it's so interesting that you think it's slow, because from what I remember when I was reading that book, I felt like there was a lot on every single
Mhm.
page, and I
Yeah.
was like a little overwhelmed.
No, there's definitely a lot. Like they've already introduced all of like the different tiers or like classes in the world and things like that. Like it's very descriptive, but in terms of like action, all that's happened is like she got up from her desk, let her friend in, her friend took a shower, and now they're outside the door. Like that's it. That's all that's happened.
Yeah, I must say that it was difficult for me. That book was the first, I don't know, 50, 100 pages. I was like, what am I doing? I don't know.
Mhm.
But you gotta trust. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. I mean, what number book is this? Like, I think we're on 12 at this point, so I definitely trust, but I feel like all of SJM's books, like they take a while. Like the beginnings are slow, and then all of a sudden something happens and everything changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first one is House of Earth and Blood. Does that sound
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. Mom, what about you?
Well, okay. So, I'm reading this duology by Carissa Broadbent.
Hmm.
You know, it's about vampires and stuff, and I just finished the second book, which is called The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. And I gotta say that when I first started this duology, the first book, I was like, I'm not into it. I think I mentioned it last week. I'm really not into it because it's all vampires and it's just not very appealing to me. But I gotta say this now. I just finished the second book, the last book, and I think she is like one of the best writers I've seen in fantasy. She's she's really poetic with her language occasionally, like she really writes like a writer, not just a storyteller. And she really started getting me engaged in the story, and I loved the set. It was fantastic. I just finished it last night. So that's where I am. I don't know what I'm going to start next.
Cool. Um, so I'm still in the tandem reads, but this
Oh
is
no.
I know, this is my spring break, so I have like a good 7 days to like
Uh-huh.
finish both of them. And I would have read today, but I got sick, but it's fine. I'll do it. Okay, where I'm at. In Tower of Dawn, Kadara just got stuck in that big spider web thing, and her and Nesrin and Sartak are like they're just like run, and that's it. That's where that chapter ended. And then in Empire Empire of Storms, Lorcan and Alid are on their way to like Aelin and her squad, because they're in that like swamp city or whatever.
Mm.
And they know that Lorcan's on the way, and they also now know that like 500 Ilkin are on the way. So they're like preparing for some stuff. I'm sure some stuff's gonna go down. No, no kissing in these chapters, but it's okay. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. I'm excited. I think we have a few things to talk about. Last episode, we wanted to talk about how Tamlin got locked up. Oh no, Tamlin locked Feyre up.
Oh,
Man, I'm exhausted.
the controversy is about to begin.
Yeah, yeah. Tamlin locked her up, and when I wrote this in my notes, I put like three exclamation points because I was
Mm.
like, it's a big deal. And then we're gonna get into like favorite characters, who bugs us. Is there a character that you see yourself in? And then if we have time, I really want to talk about the Bat Boys because Bat
Hmm.
Boys,
That
so
boys.
good.
Okay.
So what do we want to start with?
Mm. Maybe with like who we see each other in, like, or ourselves in. Yeah. And
Okay.
maybe we could do who we see the other somebody in, or I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I know who I am. Do you guys know who you are?
I don't
Nope. I don't.
know. Yeah.
Nope. I don't think I'm like any of them because they're all like 19 years old, the women.
I mean, it doesn't just have to be a woman. You can see yourself in one of the guys.
I don't see myself as them either. They're like,
No.
a few hundred years old. I'm somewhere
Okay,
in the
what,
middle.
maybe like, I don't see myself in him, but I wish it could be like, okay, so, um, Feyre's dad.
No.
You have so much explaining to do.
Let me explain. So, I've just come off a really busy week at work, right? Like, I usually start at 9, like I've been going in at 8, like staying over, working through lunch. Like it's just been a really busy period at work. And I had just started, like I said last week, rereading A Court of Thorns and Roses, right? So I came across Feyre's dad and how he just sits around and does nothing all day. And I was like, I don't see myself in him, but I wish I was him.
That's super relatable. Like I think we're often like all just so busy, want to just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah, yeah, I see myself. I hope to see myself like that one day. Helen, nothing on your end? Maybe,
Well, I know what I wish I could be.
yeah.
I
Okay.
think I want to be the queen of the summer court because that's where I want to live.
Mm.
It's just
Who,
so, it sounds so fantastic with all the,
is there a queen?
there's no queen.
Oh,
No,
there you go. Helen is the queen of the new summer court.
there's no high lady because according to Tamlin that doesn't exist.
Mm.
Um, um, who's the High Lord of Summer Court? No, there's no Summer Court.
Yeah, there is summer court.
There is
There is.
It's
What's his name?
the,
Daystar. No.
it's the one where,
He's dark and he's got light hair.
Mhm.
What's his name? I don't
He's dark
remember.
and has light eyes, and his court is the most beautiful looking. Like Moore says, "Oh, if you ever redo our court, can you model it after
Oh,
this?"
this is the one where she's with Amryn is with one of the guys in that court,
Yep,
right?
yep, yep,
Yes.
yep,
Okay, okay,
yep.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I
Yeah.
remember. I feel it's been so long since I've
What
read
is
them.
his name? Now that's going to get me. Somebody go ahead and research
Tar
that. Who is that?
Tarquin?
Can you look that up in the background? Tarquin. That's it.
It's
Tarquin.
Tarquin.
Tarquin. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
See, sometimes I'm on it.
Yeah. Well, and I don't want to be high lady. I just want to be queen. Who wants that responsibility? Definitely not me. I just want to be queen. That's it.
I completely agree. How about you,
Yeah.
Jules? I
Me?
see. Yeah, I know you say Nesta.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she is me. I am her. She's just like so rage fueled and like fiercely protective, stubborn, proud. Like I feel like, and then the only
And
thing
she's
that, or what?
she's deadpan, just
Yeah.
like you.
Yeah, I feel like the way I am here is not the way I normally am,
Oh,
but I don't know.
okay. I was gonna say
Um,
because like I haven't gotten that impression, obviously, but I mean your mom
well,
knows you best, so I would say whatever you say, Helen, I'm going with.
well,
I
like
saw I saw her. No, she was Nesta. When as soon as read Nesta, I knew that was her.
straight out the womb.
Wow. Okay. I definitely see you in the night court, Jules, in
Okay,
general. Yeah, I
yeah,
see you in the night court. Like that is 100% your vibe. Dolores is
yeah.
your hometown. Like maybe it's even your town of birth. You know what I mean?
Definitely would belong in the night court. Of all the Taylor Swift albums of definitely Reputation, it's like that vibe. I'm a
Okay.
Slytherin through and through.
Oh
This
wow. Okay.
is this is what it is. The
Okay.
only ways I would say that Nesta and I are not the same is um, she to
That was
repeat
our
what he said.
producer. He
Yeah,
said she is
Ethan,
a hoe.
Nesta
and
is.
yeah, so that's
Yeah,
definitely
not
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 my
Jules.
not my vibe. I get why she did that, but that's not my vibe. And also, she's like an amazing dancer. That's not me.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
it's just more the personality trait.
yeah, yeah. And she's also, I think she's deeply loyal and secretly compassionate, maybe.
And she's
Mm,
very
Yeah,
protective,
yeah,
which is
she,
exactly you. You're like a dog, like
yeah. Don't mess with.
or my people.
Yeah,
mm.
true. Well, since you guys don't really see yourself in any characters, do you have a favorite character? Because I know mine.
Okay, maybe you start then, Jules.
Yeah, so I mean, my favorite character didn't show up in the first book, but the moment that I saw him, that I read him in the second, I was like, this is my man. This is the gift. This is the gift that my brother-in-law gave me. This is the
Oh my
back of
God,
the shirt. It's
that is
epic,
so
guys.
funny.
It's like what I haven't worn it yet, but like I would live in this shirt.
Like
He
Ethan's brother gave you that.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't think he has read the book. I think he's read the first book, Ethan's brother. Um, so like he doesn't understand my love for Cassian, but
Yeah,
like
yeah. That's a good
he's just
gift. No, that's a
yeah,
good gift.
it's so good. Yeah, Cassian's my
Mm,
favorite. He's just like Lord of Bloodshed, love that. But also like
mm.
he has this like golden retriever vibe to him.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I
that's
like
like
that about him.
that is like what I feel like every single guy I've liked is those two things. Like they have those two sides.
Yeah,
Mm.
every like the two guys that you ever liked.
Still, the guys that I like, the guys that I like, yeah, that's what they're like. So the moment I read
Mm.
him, I was like, yeah, this is the man for me. Even though, as much as I love Reese, Cassian has my heart.
Mm. Okay. How
Yeah,
about you, Helen?
Are we talking about SJM worlds or
I think
any?
I think SJM could
yeah,
or what do you, yeah, I think SJM, right?
yeah. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
I know I haven't finished Throne of Glass, but I'm assuming I've been introduced to every character
Oh,
so
we're talking
far.
SJM Worlds. We're not just talking Thorn series. Oh, wow, that's a different thing. Like that is a different game.
Well, like I was thinking ACOTAR, but like I guess it doesn't really matter. Like, who's your favorite? Yes.
Okay.
Oh wait, I think I know who my mom's is. Is it Hunt?
It is. I love
Yeah.
Hunt.
Oh, I don't know him.
Oh yeah, you will.
Okay, okay. Oh, no spoilers then. Okay,
No
okay, okay.
spoiler.
No,
That
no,
so
it's
it's a Crescent City.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
okay.
not a spoiler, so
No,
you're
no, no,
good.
no, no.
Yeah,
I mean, I figure it's just his name. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Mm.
But I can't say then why I like him. I'll say
But
it. I'll
I
leave it for another time. Okay.
Oh man, this is such a hard question. Favorite character. I feel like I don't like a lot of people in general.
well, but when you were texting me all your thoughts as you were reading ACOTAR, I remember that you really liked Lucian.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like
Yeah.
if
Okay.
it's ACOTAR, it's Lucien.
Okay.
Um, and I think it's because he's like that loyal friend, right? But like his story seems interesting to me, his background, being part of like that family that wasn't like good and things, and then possibly maybe he's not part of that family. So yeah, I root for him. I feel like I'm really rooting for him. Um, so we'll see what happens. But if we're talking SJM worlds, I think Dorian
Oh,
for now, for now, because like
He's a lot
he's
of
a
people's
king.
favorites.
He's a king. Like I'd be a queen. Like yes, thank you. He's just so kind. Like he loved Elaine in all the ways she was. He loved her as Selena Sardath. How do you say that?
Selena Sardathian, I think. I
Selena
don't know.
Sardathian. He loved her as what was that name of that girl she was pretending to be when she was in the court? It started with an
yeah.
N or something. Like he loved her then. He loved her as Selena. He loved her as
Elaine.
Elaine. Like yeah, I just really like him. He's just loyal and like a good guy, it feels. Yeah.
I think we're learning a lot about you, that you like people who are loyal.
Yeah, I'm big on loyal, but it's not that I'm like looking for loyal. It's just I gravitate towards that, and I guess that's just I don't know how to explain it. I just love him. Like he's a king. He's good looking. He's has powers. Like he can. It's great. It's great. Yeah.
But if I were to pick somebody in Throne of Glass,
Yeah.
I I would make probably an unpopular choice.
Which
Kale.
one?
I love Kale.
I love
And
Kale too.
I think, maybe because it's that he's human and
Mm.
he's more, I don't know, identifiable. I don't know. I just feel that he he's young.
Yeah.
He's not so old like many of the other characters.
Rowan.
I love
Right.
Rowan though. Like
Oh
Rowan.
yeah.
Rowan and Dorian is a toss up for me, but since he already has a mate, I don't want to step in there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to cause that controversy.
No, but Kale is I mean, even when he does things that are not popular with, like, people don't like it, I've always understood him, and
Yeah,
and I admire him for who he is. I mean, he just, like, he's loyal, he loves the people that he's, basically Dorian. And
yeah,
Selena, even though uh he's uh he's not sure about her, in because she's fairy. What do you call that?
Okay.
Fae. Yeah, yeah.
Faye.
I don't know. For some reason, the word wasn't coming. The fact that she was Faye. That's what threw him, right?
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
but he's been conditioned like that his whole life. So I understand how, he wasn't sure or he didn't know what to do with that information. But he
It would be
still
a
loved
shock.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize people were so against Kale.
Yeah. In the beginning, he was Chow. I was like, what kind of name is Chow?
I was so proud of myself when I read Cole. I'm like, that H must be silent. I'm killing the game. Here I go. And then Jules is like, it's Kale. And I'm like, oh.
If we get into who we find annoying, I have a huge list.
Yeah, so yeah, we can talk about who gets on your nerves. Wait, and then also, are we gonna like just stick to ACOTAR right now?
Yeah, I think we should
Because I'm
decide.
Okay.
I am
Okay.
worried that because I haven't finished Throne Glass, that something may accidentally be said.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do Avatar. Yeah.
Okay, who gets on
I
your
mean, that's
nerves?
easy. I think Akatar is the more annoying one, to be honest. I think we all have the same one, probably. Should we all say it together?
Yes.
Okay. One,
One.
two, three. Feyre.
Feyre.
Okay, so you guys definitely think she's annoying, but I
Yeah.
think because she's the main character, I didn't find her annoying as often as you guys probably did. Um, so like that's not really who I would say.
Oh, who would you say?
Yeah. But we could talk about, well, let me while you guys are talking about why Pharaoh's the worst.
Uh-huh.
I'll decide between two people who is
Okay.
the worst for me.
Okay.
But Feyre wasn't annoying, wasn't as annoying in the first book, and she was a
Because
little
she was
annoying in
human.
this. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe, but mm, the things she did were not so annoying. There were some things like she ups and goes to find Tamlin. I mean, you know,
You mean
what
when
kind of
she's
fool
back?
would do that? Yeah, when she decided
Yeah.
he sent her back because he wants to protect her, and then she's like, "No, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna save him." Who the heck are you? How are you gonna save?
I actually didn't find that one so annoying, the fact that she did that. It was like out of love and things, and I was like, okay, I get it. Like you'll never succeed, but I get it, right? But she was annoying to me post becoming Fae. Like as a human, I get it. She was defenseless, didn't have a clue where she was. It was just all new to her. Fine. She needed to be protected. And she's 19, right? Or I think she
Yeah,
might even be younger. But once she becomes Fae, my goodness, it was just like, I want to practice my powers, then go outside and do it. Like you don't need to ask him. I don't know.
That
yeah,
kind of leads
she's
us into the fact that he locked her up, though.
Like, but the thing is, like, it was annoying that she always didn't want anybody to be with her. Again, there was danger. She needed those centers. What are they called? Sentries? What are they called? The
Yeah,
yeah,
guards.
the
I think that's
guards.
right.
Yeah, she needed the guards with her. Why couldn't she go out with the guards? Why does she need to be alone?
I
I
totally
mean,
agree.
but it was probably like trauma based, right? She just went through all that trauma under the mountain,
So if you're
right?
traumatized, wouldn't you be traumatized to be alone when there's danger rather than with protection? Like it made no sense.
Okay, yeah, I do see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
she's
makes
very
no
annoying.
sense to me. Yeah.
Let me count the ways. She's so annoying. It's
Yeah.
not just it's not just that. It's I mean, to me, she's the most annoying when she destroys the spring court.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, that's vengeful.
Well, and it is vengeful, but for what? Like what are her reasons? They're just she's
Look,
not a good person.
I'm not trying to defend her, but to play devil's advocate, um,
Mhm.
Tamlin did like ally with Hybern and basically like ruined Feyre's family because they had
Yeah.
to go in the cauldron. So I guess she's like, well, if you ruined my family, I'm ruining your court. Same, same.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Like with what Jules is saying. I didn't see that as annoying. I was like, she's playing the game now as well. That's when Feyre finally stopped being annoying to me actually, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna step into this role and be a badass.
But there are people who live in that court,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
she
and
destroyed the entire place. She
Yeah,
just
and
destroyed it.
I'm not saying that that's right because I do agree that that's not okay because she just ruined like people's lives that had nothing to do with anything. But
and
like
that she knew,
still,
people she knew as well.
But Tamlin was one of the people who brought her back to life.
Hmm.
Maybe
that
take
was the only
that.
useful thing he did down there.
Well, he did
Oh,
it. By the way, I think I'm Tamlin's lawyer.
Uh,
and I'm the judge.
yeah,
Yeah.
Feyre is not. I mean, I'm sure there's been moments where she's annoyed me, but she was never
Mhm.
annoying to me.
Okay, wait.
Um,
The
what?
the most annoying is when she finds out he's her mate, and then she runs away. She asks to go. I mean, more takes her to that cabin, and then she paints over the Who does that?
I
What
know,
kind of
right?
stupid? That's just ridiculous.
So are
Yeah.
you
Ridiculous.
upset? Are you upset that she like got upset and left, or are you upset that she painted the cabin?
Mostly that she painted. I can understand that. I can understand that she wanted to be alone. Okay, all right, whatever. But to take all the pains and not just, do something small for yourself, but like destroy the house? Come on.
They didn't destroy the house, but what if they were like beautiful murals?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
who wants that all over every single wall? Like,
Okay, but like with like one like snap of the fingers, Reese could just like take it all away.
I think it was more the act of just like, I need to like leave because I can't even look at you. You're my mate and whatever. But I've gone to your house. I've painted all over your walls, and I'm so mad at you. It's like, no, you're not. Like, what are you doing in that cabin? Just go back to him. Like, you're obviously so happy about being his mate.
She just makes no sense. She doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And she's just acting like a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
damn
she is
annoying.
one.
Really.
Yeah, I guess she is one.
I
What's
don't even see I don't see the attraction, honestly.
Like why Reese likes her.
Well, I can, obviously, that second book, chapter, what is it, 56 or 57,
It
something like
was
that,
54
where
and
he,
55.
I don't remember, yes, one of those, where he just, you know, lays it all out for her.
hmm in the
It's
cabin, right?
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like the best part of all of SJM's universe. It's
Hmm.
an amazing scene.
Hmm.
But she's 19 and she's annoying. She's not,
But like
she's,
but you remember in chapter 54, he felt that pull to her because
yeah.
she would kind of show up in his dream. Like it's not. It sounds like it is not something he chose.
Yeah, it
I,
just seems destined. It's not like anything that he's like, I fell in love with her because of this. It was just like, I it was destined, and I saw her in my dream, so that's why I love her.
Well, and this is it. That it's not there's no choice involved here with him. He's just
Mhm.
he's just I don't know, fell straight into it.
But
But
I
Like
guess that's
you
the
can,
whole mate concept as well.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
and you can choose to not be with your mate, right?
yeah, that's a
mm,
whole other thing.
Yeah.
Actually, it makes me change my
I know what you're gonna
choice.
I know what you're gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's my character that
Okay, so
I think
you
is the
say it,
most
Jules.
annoying. Yeah,
You say it.
Elaine, so annoyed with her.
No, 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 not Elaine,
No?
not Elaine. No, no,
Azriel?
Azriel.
that's real.
Yes, because Elaine, like, we have to give some credit to this girl. She has been traumatized, was engaged, and then disengaged, right? Like, she's going through it. She's in the thick of it. She's an oracle. She's like seeing all kinds of things. Like, she's not in a good place. Azriel has none of that. He has none of that. He's fully conscious of the choices he's making. And he even said, and that was the most annoying part, it's like, but both my brothers got a sister. Why can't I? It's like, excuse me?
So entitled.
Yeah,
Okay, look, I know that that's super entitled, and I actually super agree. I'm very upset with him and with Elaine.
yeah,
We'll get to that
yeah.
later. But also, like, you guys remember how miserable it was being single? This guy's been single for like centuries. Like, that's so sad. And like, Azriel is definitely a character that, um, he, how do I put
I don't
it?
think he's
He
miserable
doesn't,
being single. No, no, no. I have to disagree. I don't think he's miserable being single. I think he's miserable pining after people that he cannot have more. Elaine, like there seems to be a pattern here.
yeah, he's also, I think, emotionally closed off, maybe. Um,
Well, we haven't heard him speak much, so I wouldn't know.
Well, that's the whole thing, though, that he's another one who we don't have a voice for at all.
Mm,
I
yeah.
mean, we know he's
yeah,
fiercely loyal, but that's all we know. We
yeah,
don't know much. So I don't find him annoying, but I do find him a little entitled with that extra chapter.
yeah.
Um,
Well, maybe he's not annoying, but we're annoyed with him right now.
Yeah, maybe that's the better way to put it.
Yeah. I
Okay.
have, I think I've always found Elaine annoying, but not to the level that you guys find Feyre annoying. Like, you guys are very passionate about it. Um, I guess it's just because, like, I don't understand her. And whenever I don't
Mm.
understand someone, I'm like, who are you? Like, uh,
Yeah,
she's, she's like, I don't know, super quiet and like, she just wants a simple life, I guess, because it was Grayson, right? The human guy that
yeah.
she was engaged to. And then because I feel like Nesta and I see eye to eye sometimes, or most of the times, the fact that she didn't like Grayson made me feel like I don't trust Elaine's, what's it
Judge of
called?
character.
Yeah.
Judgment.
Yeah,
Judgment.
I don't trust Elaine and her judgment. Um, And you guys were saying that she was mean to Feyre in the first book, but all I can think about is Elaine in that bonus chapter in the last book with
Okay, so
Azriel.
I have the book here with me. Let me just have a
Okay,
quick look.
yeah. And while you look, I also want to say that, like, I know that being, like, going through the cauldron, like, all that stuff, and then, like, Lucien jumping the gun, like, I don't think he meant to. He was more, like, in shock and he said it. But, like,
A slip of the tongue.
he's such a good guy, and she doesn't even, like, try to get to, like, it's just so annoying.
Well, I think
That's
it's like
so,
SJM didn't want to try with her in these books because it was really more about Nesta and Cassian. And then, like, this other book that's coming has to be about that. Like, if it's not, I feel like we're all gonna, like, revolt, you know?
so I don't know. I think I sent one of you this clip of an interview where SJM, all hail,
Oh, hell.
All
she says that all three sisters will get their own
Yeah.
perspective. Like, so
Hmm.
it sounded like we will get an Elaine book, like we got a
Hmm.
Nesta book. I don't know if it'll be the next one or if she's gonna
Yeah.
follow that, like, three Feyre books, three Nesta books, three Elaine books. I don't know,
Yeah. I
but
mean, yeah. The thing with Elaine, it's like I agree with you. She's quiet and things, but that's just her personality, and all the sisters will be the same, right? So especially when when Nesta, for example, is so fierce and like outspoken, it kind of like dampens the other one. Like that, you usually see that in families and stuff. Like when there's one really loud one, there's one really quiet one. Um, so that's just her personality. Like she's just quiet. She wanted that simple life. Like I don't find that annoying. I do find it annoying when she was asked to help and like she couldn't, you know. But then again, it's like she went through a
wait,
lot.
she was asked to help with what? Like the war and stuff, or
Yeah, like remember when with the Oracle things and
uh,
they would speak to her and it was like she would just like speak nonsense. I think at one point she ended up helping, but she didn't seem fully there. I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly.
I see her almost as passive aggressive. You know,
Mm,
she's quiet and she doesn't help mm, without being pulled in, and
hmm.
she tries to stay away and uses or doesn't use her power um, because she can, right? All because she's depressed or you know she's also a kid. She needs to grow up,
Hmm.
and
and
yeah,
she's
we haven't seen.
heartbroken currently.
Yeah, the thing is though, again, like the others, I don't fully understand her, so I don't want to say that she is annoying yet. I want to give her the chance, hear her voice, and then see who she is. You know, but
Yeah.
so far she seems passive aggressive to me. You know,
Interesting.
when even in the first book, um, she she kind of didn't do anything. She did nothing to try to help the family. When Feyre got some money, she wanted stuff for her garden. She's kind of selfish. She can
Hmm.
only think about what she wants. And then when Tamlin took Feyre away, even though she wasn't, you know, she, it was in the back of her head that something has happened, she decided to ignore it because now she's happy, now she's being fed and all that. At least Nesta was passionate about it. Elaine just is like happy to be whatever she wants to be without caring about the rest of the family. She cares about her dad, but that's only because she's the favorite.
But she's not happy now that she's Faye.
No, she's not happy that she's
Yeah.
Faye. No. But again, let's get into that for a second.
Okay.
She's not, both Nesta and her are like so upset that they're Faye. Feyre became Faye. She wasn't like that. She
But she
embraced
had
it,
more time with them. She had more time with them, remember?
but yeah, but she wasn't vengeful, or she wasn't so I don't know the words. She adjusted. As annoying as she adjusted. But these
Hmm.
two, it took them what, 3 books to adjust, and Nesta took a while, but she finally kind of got to terms with it. I mean, she had the hardest time, but we saw her struggle. Elaine kind of just sat there, didn't do anything, and
Mm,
all she does is resent. I don't
Well,
know.
to kind of say what you guys were saying last time, we haven't really heard her voice. Um, with that whole thing of her being like she could see the future or whatever. Um,
Hmm. An
there could
oracle.
be more to that like really weighed on her. Because what if she saw a bunch of truths and it just like that
Yeah.
also traumatized her?
Hmm.
Um, I don't know, but I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't like
Yeah, we
her.
do have to wait. We have to wait and see. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
I actually really liked Elaine, um, in the first couple books. Like, she just seemed like she wanted a simple life, like just in her garden. And I'm like, yeah, you go, girl. Like, you don't have to be a Selena or, a Feyre. Like, you could just lead a simple life and be happy with that. And I think that was ripped from her, and that's hard. So I feel for her. Like, I actually do like her. I don't mind her as much.
We'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there any date yet? There's no date for
Mm-mm.
the next book.
Nothing has been
Come on,
announced. Well,
SJM.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Did she say that she is working on that book? I feel like she did.
No, I don't know if she
I
said
don't.
that one in
I don't
particular.
remember.
I knew that at
She
some point she took a break.
she said she's working on something, but she didn't say what.
I'm so ready for that book, and
Oh my
I already know the moment I know it's coming out, taking that day off to read the book.
God, so good.
Then you better finish all of these quick, girl.
I know. Well, yeah. I mean, she's not gonna like release it that quickly. I'll finish the
Yeah.
books by then.
Something, yeah, you have to finish Throne. You have to finish Throne because something major happens at the end, which I'm not going to say, but and I know you know Helen, and it needs to be
Wait, like
discussed
you're saying at the end of like the whole series or the tandem reads?
at the end of the
No.
series.
What do you mean something major happens? It's the end of the book.
Oh, now
It
she's
should
gonna
be all
really have
wrapped.
to read fast.
It
Yeah.
should be like all wrapped up in a nice little bow.
I'm not going to say anything like if it pertains to the story or what. Like I'm just going to all I'm saying is it needs to be discussed. It needs to be brought to court.
No, we're gonna talk about every single book once I'm done.
Yeah.
And I'm
Okay.
trying, guys. I'm trying to get through it.
Hey,
I'm
can I just
really
say something? I had this. I was like just thinking about the pod and stuff, and you know how we're called. This is a bit of a side thing, but you know how we're called a court of bookish queens, and this could be a
yeah.
totally dumb idea, so feel free to tell me. But since there's three of us, right, and Helen and I kind of have like similar views, I thought it would be fun if it was like an actual court, like Helen said before, like she's the lawyer for this. We have a subject, and it's like a lawyer, and then the judge. Maybe that could be a segment, you know?
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
should
like
definitely
for this, for example, like I know Helen will have similar views to me. So maybe I'm a biased judge, but we can do something like that, you know?
Yeah, I can talk I can be Tamlin's lawyer and Julia can be Feyre's lawyer.
And I will be the judge. Helen, you won.
It's already done. You can go ahead and be the lawyer for Feyre.
well, you're actually a lawyer by
Are you actually a
profession.
lawyer, Helen?
Well, I used to be.
No way. Oh my gosh, this it's so good. It's even better this way. We have an actual lawyer who can guide us. You may approach the bench.
It's been a long
I
time. I practiced for about 4 years when I was your age. So it's been a while.
Okay, well, let's give it a go. I say let's just give it a go.
Okay.
Okay, so the the case is I mean I've appointed myself the judge because I have the gavel. I hope that's okay with everyone. But okay, the case is Tamlin locking up Feyre. Are we
So
pro or
Feyre
so?
versus Tamlin.
Yes. So Helen, you are representing Tamlin, and then Juliet, you are representing Feyre.
It's Feyre
V Tamlin.
v. Tamlin
Tamlin.
because she is suing him
Yeah,
for
yeah, she is suing him
Ah,
exactly. So
for
Tamlin is the
false.
defendant.
It's for false
abuse
imprisonment.
Oh,
and
that is
abuse
so
of power,
good. Yeah.
and for abuse of power.
Okay. Okay. So you have to open it up, Juliet. You have to say
Oh
that your
God,
client
I
is.
can't go up against an actual lawyer.
Yes, you can. Do it.
Of course you can.
Okay. Well, yeah, definitely there was an abuse of power. Um, oh my God. Now I feel like there's so much pressure. So much pressure because I'm like, I have to win. I'm so competitive. Okay.
Okay. Well, let me
He,
start with a question. I'll be like,
okay.
okay. Um. Good morning, everyone. Um. I should have Bass here passing me the paper so I can read through the case. Okay. It seems like we have Miss Feyre. Is it Akron? Atron? How do you
I
pronounce
thought it
that?
was, I thought it was Archeron. No?
There we
I
go.
don't
Miss
know.
Atron versus Lord of the Spring Court. Please, opening statements.
Okay, I'm just gonna like say what comes to me. Tamlin exhibited controlling behavior. He ignored Farah's trauma. I mentioned abuse of power, um, explosive anger. Uh, I think there was manipulation and maybe even some gaslighting.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, but it seems like we have a lot of words being thrown out here and no evidence.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
bring it
With the
on.
gaslighting, I remember he would always be like, "This is for your own good. This is for your own good." Right? I remember that. Am I crazy?
He would try and protect her. Like he would be like,
Yeah,
"No, you can't go outside because it's dangerous. I I put guards there for your own good." Yeah.
yeah. And he could see that she was clearly struggling and just, I don't know. I feel like he made her doubt her own feelings. So
Mm.
that's the gaslighting slash denial part of it. And I want to say that the fact that Lucian also could, he saw what Tamlin was doing. Like that, yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's number one.
Okay.
Oh, and
Um,
that, yeah, does she want to go do,
may the defense for the Lord of the Spring Court please make their opening statements.
Well, I think you should just dismiss the case because there is nothing there.
are you
Dismiss!
serious?
Dismiss!
You're joking, right?
No, no, listen. We have to there is if we're really getting into the legality of it, the only thing was false imprisonment. Uh
Are we calling it imprisonment? Like, she was there for point 0.2 seconds.
He locked her up.
For point 0.2 seconds.
well,
How would you
and
like being locked up?
no, actually
Honestly, if I'm locked up in a castle, throw away the key. Like, I'm good.
so this is the thing though. Tamlin, we know, is under great pressure. N-
Absolutely.
It not only has this mask on, which which shows that he's powerless at this point. He can't show
Wait,
himself in any way.
No, he doesn't have the mask anymore.
we're talking about the second
Oh,
book. The
you're talking
mask is
about. Oh,
gone.
okay. No, the what
Yeah,
I'm talking about.
don't be bringing up
Okay.
this
Well,
falsehood stuff.
okay.
You have to object, Juliet. You have to
Yeah, yeah,
Object.
object.
yeah. Okay. I was in the wrong book. Okay. So we're in the
I shall
second
make note of
book.
this.
We're in the second book, and she wants to go out on her own, and he, oh, it wasn't just going out. She wanted to go and fight, right?
Well, she
She
Yes.
wanted to
wants to,
like she knew she had powers, but and she wanted to fight, but she wanted to like train and see what she could do so she could fight and be
and
useful.
then he's not letting her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So let me put that hat back on. Um, I I think that he he was just being protective.
Hmm.
She has not she has not been trained, but um he hasn't had the chance because of all the problems to actually train her. And
Hmm.
if she does go with them, she could get hurt. And that's what he's thinking.
Hmm.
And he didn't actually lock her up initially. He
Hmm.
told her, stay in here. There's guards there. You can be on the grounds, but you're safer here than
Yeah.
out there with everything that's happening.
Yeah.
So um,
Yeah. And
maybe
I,
it's,
hmm.
yeah, maybe
Hmm.
it's not the ideal thing to do, but he loves her and
Hmm.
he wants to
I do
protect
think he
her.
loves her. I do think he loves her. I think also Tamlin um is so much older, so he thinks he knows more. He doesn't see Feyre as his equal. So he's like, it's like a child, like you're throwing a
Mhm.
tantrum. I'm going to put you in timeout. And his timeout was like locking her up. And then I have things to do. I'm going to go and do my adult things. And then I'll come back and deal with the situation later.
Mhm.
That's what it felt like. Is it
Yeah,
right? No, it's
no,
not right.
it's
But
not right.
is it worth her imploding and leaving him and never coming back and then writing him a note? Like, no, that's also wrong. Like, they were both in the wrong.
I
Well,
agree.
but he, by being controlling and locking her up, triggered that
Protective,
PTSD.
protective. Let's use the right word.
He he was controlling too. He locked
Wait,
her up.
Mm,
That triggered the PTSD from under the mountain, and he honestly refused to acknowledge that like her own mental health. Let's be
because she
honest. That's
died. She died. Like, he lost her. He knows what it feels like to already lose her. So why would he put her in that situation again? Like, the reason that she was under the mountain was because of him. So he must feel some sort of guilt as well.
sure, but he
and under the
clearly
mountain. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he clearly doesn't realize that he's gonna lose her whether either
Oh,
way.
yeah.
He lost her. So okay, what
Yeah.
were you saying, Mom?
Well, that was the thing that he must have felt like he couldn't do anything under the mountain, but now that he can, he's going to protect her best he can,
Yes. Yeah, he's like,
even
I'm not making
against
that mistake
herself.
twice. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
exactly.
like she makes it pretty clear to him how she's feeling trapped, and he dismisses her because how he feels is more important than how she feels. His
That's a big statement. Like, you have
and
to
because
realize,
it's true.
no, that's not true. Like, she's not feeling well, but he's not feeling well either. So it's asking like two traumatized people to fix each other. That's not gonna work. Like, it's just not gonna work.
Well, she's expressing what she needs to heal, and he's saying, "Nah."
So why is it only important what she needs as well? Like I said, I don't think what he did is right, ignoring her. But why is her need have to be accomplished? Like, why does it have to happen? Even though it's bad for her.
And it's not even just this. I mean, if you look at it at a with a bigger picture in mind, they're
Hmm.
just actually not right for each other. He's
Hmm.
protective, she's like a free spirit, and he he can't give her what she needs, and he's not enough for her.
But see, I don't agree with that. In the first book, he was exactly what she needed. I think she
True.
changed. And
She did
Yeah.
that's what,
change. Yeah,
yeah.
she
And
did
which is
change.
fine, right? She became went from human to fae. But in the beginning, he was exactly what she needed. She
True.
wanted to just paint and like be a woman of
Yep, yep,
leisure.
yep.
Nothing wrong with that. Like you do you, boo. But and then all of
So
a sudden she changed and he's like, wait a second, like you used to love all of this. What do you mean that it's not good enough for you anymore? It's unfair as well to her. And now she's like, I want to go and fight. And he's like, since when? Like, why should I take you seriously?
So true.
yeah. So brief tangent, but and I was wondering if you guys have seen the uh theory, fan theory. I can't remember the word that Amarantha it was actually Tamlin's mate.
Yeah,
Did
Yeah.
you
I've
guys?
seen that. That's disgusting to me.
I,
That's tea though. That's like
No,
I
that
hope
can't
it's
be
not
right.
true. I know that I think that she was in love with Tamlin.
mm,
That's for sure.
Hmm.
And he, he wouldn't give her the time of day, and
Hmm.
she acted out.
No, that
That's what it
cannot
was.
be true.
It can't
It
be
can't
true
be
because
true.
I'm still holding out that Tamlin's gonna get his mate, and it's gonna
Hmm.
clean everything up.
I am hoping that that will happen, but I was just wondering if you guys have seen that theory.
Imagine it's like a la Twilight style. It's like Reese and Feyre's baby is Tamlin's baby. I don't think anybody is as messed up as what's her name? The writer of that book, Twilight, to do that. That was just weird. That was weird.
That's very weird.
Stephanie Myers?
Myers. Yeah.
Myers,
Myers?
that's
Yeah.
it. That's
That
it.
was weird. I'm like, how can people get behind this?
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah,
It's like, that's why I had a connection with you, Bella. Oh, yeah, because you want my daughter?
that's weird.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
gosh,
just
so
Definitely.
weird.
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, but back to Tamlin. Um, I just don't think they're right for each other anymore,
Mhm.
right? And he's struggling against it because he sees her. I mean, he sees that she's different now. Um, and also he's not under the pressure that he was before. Oh, and there's another thing that I found. I looked through, and because I'm still acting as Tamlin's lawyer, there was this place on page 107
Is this
in
the first book? Okay.
the first
Mhm.
book, yeah,
Mhm.
where she is being nosy again. She's like eavesdropping. She hears Lucien and
Mhm.
Tamlin
Talking.
talking,
Mhm.
and Lucien, it says, "I just want to know what you think you're doing," and then Tamlin says, "What are you doing?" And then Lucien says, "Me? By the cauldron, Tam. There isn't much time. You're just sulking and glowering. You're not even trying to fake it anymore." So here we're talking about faking it, right?
Mhm.
And then what does he say? It was a mistake from the start. I can't stomach it. It's not after. Oh, sorry. I can't stomach it. Not after what my father did to their kind, to their lands. I won't follow in his footsteps. Won't be that sort of person. So back off. So he doesn't want to do this.
And
This is in the first book.
by do this you
By
mean
keeping
like
her there,
have yeah.
he's starting to have feelings for her. He he doesn't want to be the bad guy,
Mhm. He doesn't want to
and
use her.
he doesn't want to use her. That's why he eventually, for to
Sends her
take
back.
sends her away.
Mhm.
So we do at some point get some of his thinking in here, and it's not
Mhm.
bad.
No, it's not
He's
bad.
a good guy.
He's a good guy.
He's trying to be a good guy.
I'm just
I
dying because like
completely agree. Case closed. Tamlin is off scot free. Like, I agree. Like he is. I think he had this curse. He found this girl he could use, and then he actually got feelings, and he's like, I don't care about this curse. Like, I can't do this to her. And then she loved him too enough to go back for him. And I think it's like, I think it's interesting what you said, Helen, that they're not right for each other anymore. I don't know if I even agree with that because she never gave it a chance. She never gave it, like, sure, she changed, but Tamlin is how many hundred years old? Like, he's not incapable of, like, knowing somebody changes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he could have been like, okay, like, now she's different. I still love her. We've been through so much. Instead of just painting, I'm going to, like, be more open to, like, doing this sort of things with her. But she didn't give him that chance. She just up and
But
left.
but again, going back to the maid thing, maybe she was also stuck. You know, there
Mm,
she
yeah.
met somebody that she felt so much more strongly about.
I just feel like Reese stepped in, right? And that's my problem with Reese. Like, he's a home wrecker to me. Like, he wrecked that home. And that home was beautiful to begin with. Like, the spring court, I love the spring court. Like, it just seems so, like, ethereal to me, right? And for him to, like, just always be eavesdropping in, going in uninvited, like keeping an eye on Feyre, interrupting the wedding. Like, it left a bad taste in my mouth. So then when it's like, oh, you're actually my mate, it's like, bro, like,
okay, but like she literally was asking for someone to stop the wedding. So
True.
you can't blame him. That was
why
on
does she
her.
why does she need help to stop the wedding? It's her
That's
wedding.
true.
So
That's
she has
true.
enough power to say, I don't want to be locked up, Tamlin. How dare you? I'm getting out of here. But she needs help to not walk down the aisle? Nah, nah.
She tried so many times to explain to him she's feeling trapped. If he's already not listening to the way she's feeling, he's obviously not going to listen to her not want to get married.
Um,
I don't think
He's
so.
not
no,
going to.
I think she
No.
should have she's just not mature enough to stand up for herself and say, you know what? I think we should postpone because I'm not ready.
And no man is gonna be like, "Oh, you don't want to marry me? You're still gonna do it."
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and it's like, no, we're going through. Uh-huh.
I agree with that. But on I think I'll take on Reese's case as well.
Hmm.
I think he did what he had to do. And he tried so hard not to get in there. You know, he had that deal with
Did
her, but
he?
he didn't.
Did
Yeah,
he
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 try
had
so
that.
did.
hard,
He
He
tried. Yeah, he
did.
Helen?
did.
No,
He did.
I cannot. I do not agree with either of you on that point. No way.
No, no, he really tried, but you know, at some point, he's like, well, she's gonna marry him and she doesn't want to, so she went and picked him up, you know,
I am
and
flabbergasted. No way. No, he literally under the mountain did bound her to a thing to a spell where she had to be with him every week. That's trying so hard to stay
oh, no,
away.
no, no. Uh,
Oh.
if we're talking about Under the Mountain,
Mm,
you know, we all went into this thinking Reese is a bad guy. We
hmm.
all, yeah, I don't think there was anybody who was like, ooh, hottie, you know. No, I think everybody thought, what the heck is he doing? Who is he? Why
Yeah.
is he doing this? It was through the process that we started kind of seeing him a little bit
Like
different.
layers. Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't until the second book where he's like flirting with her, sending notes, things like that, that we're like, oh, this is kind of cute. I'm
Disgusting.
sure not you. but
Disgusting.
but seeing his court, how he seeing how he has this personality that he shows to the world, but he has this other one uh, that he shows to the people in that
Hmm.
city and his court. So we start seeing him differently, just as Feyre started seeing him differently, right?
Mm.
So, and we get to, I do think that they were meant for each other. So, um, you know, as annoying as she is, for putting that aside, he he saw that he was her mate, and he tried. I do think he tried, but you know, he had to do something about it at the end. And if
I
he hadn't,
disagree. I disagree, but I know what you mean. Like, I disagree that he tried to stay away. Like 100%, I disagree with that. But are they meant to be together? Yes. And I think what really solidified that to me is when she goes back to her house in her village and she's painted the drawers and she did flowers for Elaine, fire, I think, for Nesta, and then she did like the stars. I'm like, okay, it was always going to be a thing. Like Tamlin never had a chance,
yeah,
but I fault her for looking, for straying, for looking elsewhere, and I fault him for stepping in. That's why to me, like when they would write the notes to each other, I would gag. I'm like, this is so gross to me. This is disgusting. Like you're flirting with an engaged woman and she is like writing letters to this man, but she didn't have the decency to write like a proper breakup letter. She just said, I'm not coming back, like to Tamlin, you know?
no, I agree. I agree with that
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Reese, you know how they had a deal 1 week every month she had to be with him?
yeah.
There were, after like the first two like sets of weeks, that he didn't like reach out to
That's
see
right.
her for months.
Yeah,
He
but
That's
then
that
he
right.
went
was
in during the wedding, like the worst
No, no,
time.
no
no,
no
no. It
no
was
bef-
before that.
Oh,
before he
Before that.
tried. He was like I'm gonna stay away. It was probably too painful for him
yeah, he didn't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Agreed. He didn't reach out to her. Agreed. But then the moment he did was during the wedding. Like,
because she sent up the Reese signal, the bat signal.
But even
no.
before that, he locked her up. He sent more to get her.
Yeah, because of the laws. If he went
Yeah,
himself, it would have been
Yeah,
breaking the laws. Yeah.
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 Hmm.
So and I think he tried anyway. I
Hmm.
do think he tried, but he
Melissa
can't help
just doesn't
himself.
like. Melissa does
I
not
look
like.
in isolation, Reese as a character, I like him. Like, he has it all going on for him. He is protective, but like in a very good way. Like he lets her make her own decisions and things like that. Sure, I agree with it all. But how they came together is disgusting to me. And the worst part of it all, to me, like mind blowing, the first time I think I'm not about him, I'm not sure about him, but I think the first time she said she loved him was when after or during they slept together. I was like, disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. Like,
There's a reason why I mean, all of these uh, male characters, a lot of them are supposed to be morally gray, right? And
mm,
yeah, I think there is an element of that gray element over there as to how he tried to be a good guy and not go in, but he went in anyway. He couldn't help himself, and that's
yeah,
the great part.
I see what you mean, but like, it's also like his court and all of that. He's not morally gray, he is so about women and making
Yeah,
them the one and two and like giving everybody the choice and this and this and that, but when it came to himself, right, he just could not stay away. That's why I say like he could not stay away from Feyre, and I get it, like it's his mate,
yeah.
but that doesn't mean that it's any less icky about how they got together. Like I think Feyre just had to cut it clean. If she cut it clean with Tamlin, and then went with him, I would be okay with it, I think.
Yeah, I see that, but I don't think that's where her annoyingness comes in. She was
Yeah.
never going to do it.
But
She was,
he should have forced it, even for his own sake. Like, hey, I don't think it's right for us to get together, like, while
you're
you're
right.
still with another man. But he didn't say
You're right.
anything. He was
You're
just like, yeah,
absolutely right there. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, he didn't say anything, but that's her decision to make.
No, I think if you're entering a relationship, right,
Yeah.
it's a mutual thing. And you don't have to be like, okay, well, if you haven't broken up, that's fine. You can be like, well, no, I don't feel comfortable dating an engaged woman.
No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Uh, I think we go into these fantasy stories, kind of um, blocking away our sense of right and wrong because of the romance.
Yeah, and mine is
But
just too present. It's too present.
yeah, no,
It's
and I
like,
love that. I
no,
think I respect that. Definitely, definitely.
thanks, Helen.
It's
I'm confused by it, but I love it.
Yeah. It's just like I can't take it away. Like I can't disassociate it. Oh, it's because I'm reading a book. Like I think I can do it in certain aspects. Like she's 19, this would never happen. Or like, oh, it's like they have powers or whatever. But when it comes, it's about romance, and that's so present in romance. Like if I think of myself,
Mm.
like if I would have started dated to date my husband, and I was engaged to another man, like it's crazy to me. It's just crazy.
No, that totally, no, 100%. It
That
is
makes
crazy.
sense. Yeah.
But when you're
Yeah.
reading a book, you're just like,
Well, that's what I'm saying is that in these books, we kind of just put our moral compass on the
Yeah.
side and just glance at it once in a while.
well,
But
I mean, it's because you want to enjoy the book you're reading. That's why, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're
Mhm.
you,
gonna be annoyed at the whole love story, like the love story.
You'll be me. You'll be me. Like I hated every bit of Reese and Feyre. I was like, they are so gross. Like I'm not for their happily ever after. That's why when I got to Nesta and Cassian, I was like, love, 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 love. You know? Yeah. And that's why even I think I like Lucien and Elaine because it's so clear that Elaine and Grayson are over. Like that's done, right?
Mhm.
And then now we go to Lucian or maybe Azriel, and that's why I'm like hating on Az.
No, don't even put that out there.
Az, and Az is like playing the field because I've shared this theory with Juliet, but I don't know if I shared it with you, Helen, or she shared it. I don't know. I think Az's mate is Gwen.
And I fully support that. Because if he ends up with Elaine, I'm gonna be so upset. And I think SJM knows that. All hail, but she knows that.
Yeah. I think it's going. I don't know why she didn't make it. That Az ends up with Elaine. Maybe it's too on the nose. It's too obvious. It's like three brothers, three sisters. Let's make it happen, right? Like it's boring a little bit. Um, but
Predictable.
Gwen,
This is what I think.
hmm
I think that um, I'm not sure, but somehow I see Elaine as the queen of the spring court. I don't know
yeah,
how. I don't
I
know if
completely
it's,
agree.
yeah, I don't know
Hmm
if it's because
Sorry, I have
she's
to go
just
down.
like meant to be. I think she's meant to be the queen of the spring court. Whether
But
it's with Lucian,
Yeah,
okay, you know how Lucian, like we know who his real dad is, basically, right? It's day court, right?
no, it's fall court, autumn court.
No, no, no,
no,
no.
no,
Autumn
no.
court is
Oh,
not his real
his yeah, yeah, day
dad.
court. Yeah, 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 day
Hmm
court.
It's day, right? I mean, I could see them being the high whatever of the day court
I don't
Who,
think so.
who?
if Elaine like picks Lucian, like,
Oh
then
yeah.
they could be
Yeah,
and
I
you
get,
hate
I know
it.
what you mean because she's like light and beautiful and things, but I think just because of the thing
Yeah.
with the garden, it's like so heavily influenced. My theory is that Elaine's father is different, is not the other girl's father.
Wait. You're saying that Elaine's dad is different than the other two dads?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
other two's?
And so is Lucian's, right? So Lucian's dad is different than his siblings' dad. It's the Lord of the Day Court. My theory is that Elaine's dad is actually somebody else. It's not Feyre and
But
Nesta's dad.
but wasn't Elaine the favorite? He
Yeah.
Yeah,
was the dad's favorite.
he might not know. He might not know. Women have their secrets, right? But like I think she is actually from the Spring Court. I know it's wild.
But
Oh,
but
also
like
like Tamlin and her mom.
I don't know if it's Tamlin per se, but I just feel like she has such a connection to the Spring Court. And then, because she's never even been to the Spring Court, right? But like this connection with the flowers and the gardening and things, like I feel like there's
Oh, it could
something in
be.
there.
It could be not Tamlin, but his father.
Yeah.
And Elaine's mother, because
Hmm.
she could have been a witch, right? And she
Yeah.
could have gone to Kalanmai and
Hmm.
gotten herself impregnated.
oh my
Very true.
God. Ugh,
And also
totally forgot
remember,
about that.
remember when what's his name? Tamlin and Lucian said to Feyre, like, didn't your mom tell you stories about this? And it was like very specific. Like, sure, it might sound like, oh, moms always say lullabies or stories to their kids before bed, but it felt like they knew her. And I feel like, yeah, I just don't feel like Elaine is
Mr.
I don't
Archeron.
remember.
yeah, Mr. Archeron. I don't feel like Elaine is Mr. Archeron's daughter. And
Interesting.
maybe that's why he loved her, because she's the only one that's nice. And that's where the connection, I think, comes in. Like, that's why Lucien is her mate, because he has a father that he doesn't know, and maybe she has a father that she doesn't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but
Well, and I'm also thinking they could kill off Tamlin, and he would become Lucian
Hmm.
would become the king of the or the what is it, the High Lord of, yeah,
I thought
of Spring Court.
I thought that too, but then the Day Court Lord doesn't have an offspring either. So I feel like Lucian has to be part of that. And then Tamlin will get an arc, like a redemption arc, and he will
Hmm.
finally get someone.
I'm
Yeah,
just
it's all
gonna
very, I can't wait.
yeah, I can't wait. I'm just gonna be so annoyed if Elaine doesn't pick Lucian. So annoyed. You have no idea how
No,
annoyed.
she's
I would
picking
be
him. She has to pick him.
because
Like
there's like nothing wrong with him. Like he's just like so he's
I feel like she
Um,
will pick him because also remember when Lucian went back, well, he went somewhere off on that trip and he found the dad, right? Like Lucian actually knows her dad. And I think that will entice Elaine and she'll start to fall in love with him. Like maybe he'll start sharing stories and things like that, and it'll warm her up to him.
are, you're talking about that Lucian knows Daddy Archeron? That's what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Oh, so
Remember
this is
when Daddy Archeron brought in the three ships with the
yeah,
three daughters' names? Also, like tears, like so many tears when that happened.
yeah,
But
yeah.
who brought Daddy Archeron? Wasn't it Lucian?
yeah,
Oh,
he
like
was the one who
Lucian,
found her.
Jurian, and Vasa.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Lucian is the one who ran into him and is like, you need to bring everybody together.
What about this theory that the mate thing is a cauldron thing, not a mother thing? And so he she could have a chance at another kind of mate, and that the cauldron. You've heard that, right?
The theory is that the cauldron, because they were cauldron made and not high fae born, that the mate, the whole mating thing might work in a different way. So she might have a cauldron mate and then like a high fae mate. Is that it?
Like there's two
Yeah, or
paths. Mother.
mother
Like
inspired mate.
Okay.
mother as in like the mother of magic and the whole reason that they're
But
like fae.
Az would know if she's his mate. Yeah, if she's his mate. And it
Yeah.
doesn't seem
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, as
No,
as
I
would
don't think it's
know.
as.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
but the point, I think Mom's point was that Elaine would potentially have two options. Lucien is one, which we don't know. Well, actually, no, yeah, we don't know if that's Cauldron Mate or not. And then the other one, do we
It
know?
is cauldron made, yeah.
But
Are
we
you
don't know
It,
sure?
if the mating thing is cauldron made. I think she only has cauldron made because she is cauldron made. So like there's nothing
mm.
else.
But it
And
was the
the fact
mother
that
who helped. Wasn't it the mother who helped Nesta uh, get the Fey body insides with together with
oh
Feyre? It was
yeah,
the
but
Yeah,
mother who
that
did it
didn't apply to
to
Elaine.
Elaine.
Also, can I just say
that okay.
like the fact that Lucian has recognized Elaine as his mate and he's not cauldron made. So like isn't that
Hmm,
mother?
maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. I just think that the whole thing is messed up, and uh, I I I don't think she's attracted to him. It just
I
doesn't
think
seem that way.
I think she has a mental block. I think she has a mental block.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not even giving herself a chance. Like she's not even
And then there was
trying.
some,
Well, that's what I say about Feyre. She didn't try with Tamlin.
and then Lucian also just went away and started living with the other two guys, or the woman, the
Yeah.
human
Vasa
Well,
queen.
and
Yes,
I
Jurian.
think like he's just suffered so much rejection. Like he has been rejected from his family for years now. Then his best friends and like brother have rejected him, and now his mate have rejected him. So he's like, I just
I
need to
feel
start
so
again.
bad for him. He's a good guy.
I
He is.
know.
Yeah. No,
And
but
that's why
he's
I'm gonna be so upset if she doesn't choose him.
no. She'll have a good story. Like they'll have a good story. I really feel like they're meant to be.
And like I really want Az and Gwyn to be a thing.
I think they
I would
will
love
be.
that. And because okay, also I saw something online and they were saying how Azriel's shadows like they kind of like
They speak
have
to
a
her.
different energy around Gwyn
I told
or
you this,
something.
remember? Yeah, yeah. It's you can see it in the bonus chapter how his shadows reach out for her and they never do that. They're always around him.
Like
So
they
it's
never
like
do that for
unconscious.
Elaine.
They never do it for anybody, like
Ah,
period. But it's like unconsciously his shadows were like in search for her, even though he doesn't know it yet. His
yeah.
shadows do.
And that's kind of touching on the point of earlier when I said he's emotionally closed off.
Hmm.
That just I don't know.
Hmm.
That proves
Well,
that.
I think it's more like he doesn't know how to make sound decisions. I don't think he's emotionally closed off because he has like laid it out for more, right? But he just doesn't know how to pick the right person, and it's showing again with Elaine, like he's not picking correctly.
Hmm.
There's
Should
a
we
lot that will like once the book comes out, we'll be like we'll look back at this episode and be like, we were so spot on, or how wrong were we?
should we like take a second and talk about the necklace in the bonus chapter?
Oh my God.
Do you
That
remember?
was so bad.
Remind me?
I hated that.
Okay. Do you want to remind
Yeah, I
mom?
don't remember.
So Winter Solstice, like he buys her a gift that he gives her
That's
after everybody's gone away.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and it
And then
was
he
a
like
necklace for
he
her. And he
And he
puts it
like,
on her, right?
Yeah.
And then they end up almost, did they almost kiss or yeah, they
it
almost
was like
kiss.
almost, and then Reese like spoke into his mind, was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Which is so hypocritical, but okay. Like I was proud of him. I was actually, it's the one time that I was like, okay, I'm starting to turn for Reese. Like I like him. But so that happened and Elaine didn't know obviously that Reese spoke into his mind. So she thought that it had to do with her and he didn't want her and whatnot. So she returns the necklace the next day and he takes the necklace and goes to the library and gifts it to Gwen.
Well, and then correct me if I'm wrong, but he doesn't actually gift it to her. He goes
No.
to the Clotho, I don't know her name.
Yeah, to
He's
like
like,
give to her. Yeah.
yeah, but in the beginning, he's like, just give it to someone. Like, he doesn't actually specify her, and then somehow it ends up being her, being Gwen. Yeah,
It's like that was gross.
yeah. Because, like, Elaine,
It's been on
at,
another woman's skin and you're giving it to me? Like, no. It's like, why not
yeah,
give me her underwear at this point? Like, no way.
I
No
totally,
way.
I totally agree with that. And there has to be some point in a future book where Elaine sees that necklace on her.
That's so true.
Like,
That is
that is gonna be
spot
so
on.
good.
Spot on. And it will cause controversy. And I'm so here for it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The only thing I think of is that all these boys, and we're back to the Bat Boys, they're all a little bit, I mean, they're hundreds of years old, but they're still little boys. They're not very mature. They are
Hmm.
emotionally, um, you know,
I think
closed
Cassian doesn't
off.
apply to this though.
Cassian is not
Cassian,
somebody.
like, if
Cassian,
anything, Nesta was so immature, and he was the one that knew what she needed, took her on that hike, didn't speak to her, although he loves her. Like, was like, I'm not speaking to you. You did the wrong thing. Like, he is so mature, I think,
He's so hot.
but he never told her he loved her.
because she didn't need to hear that. She would have just thrown it in his face and been like, whatever, I
No, I
don't
mean,
care.
even after they were mates, he never said he loved her.
Oh, I don't know about that. We have to
We
read
all need
it.
it. Well, this is the thing. I remember. Okay, wait. I have two things to say. Number one, I don't think Cassian is like that emotionally, whatever the word was you guys use, but he can be impulsive and hot tempered. So I'm gonna say that. And then when Melissa, when you were finishing, you had just finished the last book. Um, I remember I said before you put the book down, go back and read. Is there any point where he says "I love you" to her, to Nesta?
Yeah.
And if I'm remembering that you said that he actually, you know what? Now I don't remember.
No, I think I said that he did say it, but then I don't know if I actually found where the part that he said it. So he might not have. But it's ridiculous. Like this is ridiculous to say that he doesn't love her. It's in- like they're reading way too much into it. I don't think this is. Yeah,
I agree
no,
with
Okay,
you.
I
no.
I agree.
totally agree, but that was one thing that people had brought up online, and the other one was, does Nesta actually eat the biscuit? No, 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 wait, the other way around. Does
Oh,
he
does
eat?
He
Well,
eats the
yeah, right.
biscuit.
She gives him, yeah, she gives him that stale biscuit or whatever. Does he actually eat it?
I feel like we need to reread those chapters. I'm not sure if he actually eats it, but like it's semantics at this point. Like they jump forward and she goes to her father's grave, which we know is like the reason she goes insane, right? She actually doesn't mind being Fae, I don't think. What affected her was that her father died and she still treated him poorly, right? And then cut to she's at his gravesite and he's flying above her checking if she's okay. Like I don't
Wow,
care
I don't
about the
even.
biscuit. I don't care about the I love yous. It's happened. They're together forever.
I don't even remember the grave part. I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, that's the very end. That's like the very end.
Oh my God, it's just. I feel like it's been years at this point since I've read the books. And I really want to go back and reread them, but
You
I
gotta
have
reread.
things to do. I have books to finish.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I think that's just semantics. Him not having actually said it, but people kind of get stuck on those kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's like just based on fear. Like they're worried that
Mm.
I mean, we
something
had
is
two
gonna.
books of them. I don't think there's anything to be afraid about. Like they're together, period. It's done.
Yeah, we saw when they got together, there was some string like around
Yeah,
them,
like the
golden string or whatever.
yeah,
They're
golden
mates. They're
thread.
mates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
It was even earlier that he knew that they were mates,
Yeah, I remember in
right?
an earlier book, Feyre had said something, had asked Cassian something, and then Cassian's response about Nesta was like, "I just can't stay away." And this was like book two or maybe
Yeah, I
three. I
think
remember that.
he knew as soon as he saw her in that house when she was human. But I maybe when she was Fae it became stronger. Like, but he knew. Like, yeah.
Okay, so I feel like we've come at a natural stopping point. Next time, I definitely want us to discuss how Reese is very different in A Court of Silver Flames compared to all the other books. And I guess we didn't really touch on the Bat Boys enough. At least we didn't talk about Cassie enough. But that's always the case for me. But yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Court adjourned. Court adjourned. And I believe that the case of Archeron versus Spring has also we have come to a verdict, and I am glad to say that Spring has won. Have a
Bias.
lovely weekend. Have a
Bias.
lovely weekend.